product, the Demelan cream, fights pigmentation in 3 different ways. First way is through exfoliating our skin. Now the product has 10% glycolic acid. Glycolic acid is a chemical exfoliant. Old cells from the skin surface are supposed to fall off and make way for the younger and the newer cells from the deeper layers of the skin. But sometimes these old cells, they don't fall off. They all cling to each other and give a very rough, dull look to the skin. They form long chains and a thin layer on top of the skin. Now what a chemical exfoliant does is, it very gently breaks the bonds between these old cells and makes these old cells fall off. But what does that have to do with pigmentation? You see, some of these old cells carry inside them an excess amount of a pigment called melanin. All this dark spots, pigmentation, hyperpigmentation is nothing but an excess amount of this pigment, melanin. So when these old cells are made to fall off by the glycolic acid, the excess pigment that they were carrying inside them also goes away. So glycolic acid is really effective in getting rid of the surface level hyperpigmentation. But there are a few things that I would like to mention. We shouldn't all get excited that it's got this 10% glycolic acid and it's going to do an amazing job with the surface level pigmentation, because it's always important to know the limitations as well. First thing is, exfoliation though will have an immediate brightening effect on the skin. We shouldn't get tempted and overdo it. Don't do it multiple times a week. Start with 2 times a week and then gradually, once in a while, once in every other week, you can even go up to 3 times a week using this product. But just bear in mind that overdoing it can irritate the skin, and when the skin gets irritated, everything goes counterproductive, because when skin goes irritated, irritation will lead to additional pigmentation, so it beats the whole purpose. The second thing is, for any glycolic acid product, it is important to be aware of the pH of the product. pH is the acidity or the alkalinity of a product. pH of the product determines how effective that glycolic acid product is going to be on our skin. The ideal pH is between 3.5 and 4 for a glycolic acid product. Now this manufacturer, the Demelan creams manufacturer, does not mention the pH. If we don't know the pH, 2 things could be happening. The pH could be less than the optimum level. That would mean burning on the skin, because I don't see many reports of that happening. I have used this cream personally too. It doesn't burn. I do have skin more on the sensitive side, so it seems to work well for my skin. So it's possible that the pH is more than the optimum level, that's more than 4. That means the amount of glycolic acid is not really 10%. If it's more than 4, the pH, it's going to bring the glycolic acid amount, the glycolic acid that can actually work on our skin, a bit down. So the 10% glycolic acid is probably close to 8 or 9 or even 7% glycolic acid. It depends mainly on the pH used. It doesn't mean it's not going to work. It will work in exfoliating and getting rid of the surface level pigmentation, but at a slower rate than what a real 10% glycolic acid product would do. But the benefits of this product doesn't stop with glycolic acid, and that's why I like this product. The second way, there are 2 other ways it helps us fight the pigmentation. You see, actually to fight pigmentation, we have to attack it through multiple pathways. That's what can help us eliminate pigmentation. If we actually tackle pigmentation only through one pathway, we can never get rid of pigmentation. That's what makes creams like this good, because they tackle pigmentation through multiple pathways. The first one is a surface level through exfoliating. The second one is by inhibiting an enzyme called tyrosinase. Tyrosinase is an enzyme that's there in the deeper layers of the skin, which helps in the production of this pigment, melanin. Melanin, an excess amount of melanin, is what actually results in hyperpigmentation. But sometimes certain external factors and internal factors will make this tyrosinase enzyme super excited, and when it gets super excited, it will result in an excess amount of melanin, and this excess melanin, most of it hopefully, will travel up and reach the upper layers of the skin, the surface of the skin, and some of it unfortunately will end up in the deeper layers of the skin, this excess melanin. Once it gets to the deeper layers of the skin, it will still be visible to us as pigmentation, but it's very difficult to get rid of it. So the second way this cream helps us is by inhibiting the enzyme tyrosinase, and that's where its two other ingredients, the alpha-arbutin and kojic acid, come into play. Inhibiting tyrosinase enzyme means calming that enzyme down and saying,
no need to be so hyper, calm down.
A calm tyrosinase enzyme will not result in an excess production of melanin. It's got 5% alpha-arbutin and 2% kojic acid, both very effective in inhibiting that tyrosinase enzyme. Now, when it comes to alpha-arbutin, most of the studies that have been done when it comes to its effectiveness, its efficacy in skincare products have been done on 2% alpha-arbutin. Now, this one does use 5%, so that's much higher than the 2%. So it will be effective, probably even more effective, but more stronger too. So it's a good idea with this product to do a patch test. Either at the back of the ear or somewhere here in the elbow, because it also has glycolic acid. You see, glycolic acid on darker skin tones can sometimes irritate your skin, but that's no reason to stop using glycolic acid. Glycolic acid and alpha-arbutin 5%, it's better to do a small patch test before you put it on the rest of the face. Now, kojic acid 2% is at the right optimum level for it to be a good tyrosinase inhibitor. The third way this product helps us fight pigmentation is because of the antioxidant property of kojic acid. There are these nasty molecules on our skin called free radicals which cause inflammation on the skin, and then inflammation on our skin will always eventually lead to pigmentation. Inflammation is what drives the tyrosine enzyme to get hyper. It is what actually makes the cells responsible for producing that pigment melanin to go into overdrive and produce that excess melanin. The root cause is inflammation. Free radicals which cause the inflammation, only thing that can fight them are the antioxidants. Now, kojic acid also has an antioxidant property. Because of its antioxidant property, it can go and fight the free radicals and thus reduce the chances of inflammation that the free radicals can bring, and thus reduce the chances of the pigmentation that the inflammation can bring. So you see how this product fights pigmentation in 3 different ways, and that's actually what's needed in a good anti-pigmentation product. We need to tackle pigmentation through multiple pathways. These 3 pathways are not the only pathways. There are more pathways that we need to tackle pigmentation, but I like this product because it does tackle pigmentation in more than one pathway. So this is definitely a good product, but just use it the right way. Use it after doing a patch test. Use it in the night. Start slow, then gradually increase. Apply it, wait for a minute, and then apply a good cream. Don't apply any thick cream like an occlusive cream which will seal everything in. Apply a light cream or a moisturizer on top of it. And the next day, don't forget sunscreen. Sunscreen is a must every day, but after using products like this, skin is a bit tender, so sunscreen becomes doubly, triply important. Don't wax, don't thread, don't laser, or don't microneedle for at least a few days after using this product, because skin is a bit tender. That's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and do subscribe to my channel. That will really help me a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.